at the symbols left by ancient people. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what do we really understand about them? Simple lines on cave walls, handprints, animals in motion, figures carved into stone temples. They don't speak our language. They don't tell us why they were created. They don't explain themselves. But still, we understand them. We don't know the names of people who created them. We don't know what their voices sounded like. But we recognize something familiar. A desire to be seen. A desire to say, I was here. Long before technology, creativity was the first language of humanity. It was not for content or decoration. It was the only way to show another person what your inner world looked like when the words did not exist. Today, we live in a most technological advanced era. We can send a message in a second. We can video call someone in another part of the world. We have social media, AI, algorithms can predict what we like next. But still, many people feel more disconnected than ever. But if you look closely, the way we actually communicate hasn't changed much. We still use images, symbols, stories, but they go by different names, posts and memes. And very often, they are created by people sitting alone in a room with a laptop or a phone or a sketchbook. We call them solo creators. I'm a creative person. For me, creativity isn't about productivity or results. It's how I deal with emotions when the words stop working. When I feel that something is too complicated to explain, I draw. But I almost never share my drawings because emotions inside them feel too complicated to explain. They are not polished thoughts, they are raw. Sharing them feeling like letting someone read my personal diary written in images instead of words. But one day, I decided to show my drawings to a friend. I remember the hesitation and thoughts. What if it feels meaningless to her? What if it's not good enough to share? What if it says too much about me? She looked at my drawing quietly. She didn't comment technique or style. She paused for a moment, and then she said, I see you in these pictures. I feel you. She didn't say, these are impressive, these are beautiful. She said, I feel you. And something shifted. I realized that this person knew me better than I thought before. Not because I explained myself, but because I allowed myself to be honest through my creativity. And this is how connection happens. This is exactly how solo creators work. We always imagine solo creators as someone who creates in isolation, someone always alone with their thoughts. But in reality, solo creators are constantly building bridges. Bridges between people and emotions and experience. Between people who may never meet, but recognize each other. When you create alone, you are never alone in what you create. So let me ask you something. Raise your hand if you found your close friends through a common interest of fandom, a music band, a video game, a blogger, a book. Yes. Think of how those relationships started. They started with a pure emotion you shared. And this music or game was created by someone, by solo creator who create you with your closest ones. This how connection happens. Today, creating something has become incredibly easy. AI can generate images in seconds. It can compose music, edit videos. Internet is overflowing by perfectly optimized creations. But here's the paradox. The more AI content we consume, the more invisible many people feels. Because not everything is meant to connect, let's be honest. Some content is performed to entertain, to go viral. And all of it become noise. Human creativity is different because human creativity is not about creating something new. It's about recognition. When we share something we care about, we don't say, look what I made. We say, this is what matters to me. This is how I feel. And maybe you feel it too. This is how communities are formed. This may sound surprising, but I have always been deeply shy about my creative artworks. Me, shy. It was precisely my constant state of imagination, drawing, writing, living inside ideas, that once helped me to find people who think and feel the way I do. And it's because of them, after 8 years of friendship, I'm finally embracing the fact that being a geek is not something to be ashamed of, but to be proud. So maybe being a solo creator today, it's not about competing with machines, and even not about creating more and more content. Maybe it's about something much older, something what humans have always done. Using creativity to reach across distances, to recognize each other, and say in a language that is older than words, I was here, and you are not alone. Thank you. This was Medvedeva Milana.